Like him going to join the Steelers and going to be a part of that, I think his time in New York made him appreciate Green Bay more because I think he realized, oh, my God, like, geez, this is how it is. I think he chose the Steelers in part because that was the opportunity, but also he doesn't need to keep playing. He said it as much. He doesn't need to. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's won a Super Bowl. His career's set. He's good. 500 touchdowns. He's good. Took care of that last year. But I think he looked at it and said, man, I want to go out like I came in with basically Green Bay AFC, and that's the Steelers. Tradition, history, stable organization. Like Breece Hall talking about Rodgers isn't really the point. Breece Hall mentioning, and there's dysfunction with the organization, that's the point. And I got news for you. Now that Rodgers is gone, that's still there. It's still there, even after Rodgers left. All the leaks that still came out, all the stuff about, closed-door meetings, discussions with Aaron Glenn, it's still there. So we can try and be like, oh, well, rid ourselves of him. The him you haven't ridded yourself of is Woody Johnson. And as long as he's there, that place is still going to be a circus. At the Jonas Knox on X, at the Jonas Knox on X. You can get us on Instagram at Jonas Knox Show. So coming up next here, we are going to tell you about something in the world of sports that I personally do not get. I don't understand it. And it's a huge deal. I don't get it. That'll be yours here on FSR. But for all the latest from around the world of sports, speaking of big deals, this man deserves respect.
Number one on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINTA Miami, WMIB-FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good.
He's the magnificent Sir Isaac Lowenkron.
Now, speaking of respect, it appears that you have one more hater joining the party of your veritable army of social media trolls.
1-0 pitch. Stowers cracks that one out to center and deep. Siri is back. He looks up, and it's gone. The Marlins waste no time. Kyle Stowers with a 2-run shot, and they take a 2-0 lead in the first.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
2-1. That kicks away from Rodriguez. Hill breaks for the plate. There will be no throw. And on a wild pitch, the Marlins walk it off again. 1-2. Conine lifts out to left field. Tommy Pham working back to the warning track. So is Sawinski. They look up, and it's gone. Griffin Conine to left center. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
God, it's so fun to win. Nice job, Ahmed. Welcome. We're live from Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. 105 degrees outside. A comfortable 78 degrees inside. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio. It's Fox Sports 940 Miami. Game 81 of 162. After today's game, we will be halfway through the 2025 season. And the way the Marlins are playing, if they could push back the All-Star break, I'm sure they'd be on the horn with Rob Manfred right now because Miami's won 5 in a row, and the offense is as hot as a match, like Jack McMullen said last night. And who better to throw out there to try to win 6 in a row than Sandy Alcantara, who owns a 2.74 ERA over his last 4 starts. Brandon Pfaadt, he will go opposite, 26-year-old right-hander who went 5 2/3, allowing just 1 run against Miami back on April 16th. Those two will kick off our matchup on the mound on this Saturday afternoon. We get going at 4:10 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Saturday afternoon with Jack McMullen and former All-Star closer A.J. Ramos. I'm Steven Strom. What an awesome win it was for Miami. It was a high 5 in a row. I fear we're going the distance here on Marlins on Deck. We've got a power-packed broadcast, and as always, we thank you for your participation. Want to first hear from Kyle Stowers on last night's win. It was a nail-biter. Tyler Phillips made it interesting. Sandy and Jack talk as well ahead of his 16th start of the season. We'll get you out of the count with Alcantara and Brandon Pfaadt. Jack will jump in for some banter, plus some just potpourri in general. X-Poll question of today at Marlins Radio, and Steve's guarantee to victory. So it looked like the Marlins were going to coast after they exploded in the middle innings. They had a 4-run lead going into the 9th. Clayton McCullough decided to go with Tyler Phillips, and Phillips made it interesting, but the Marlins were able to hang on 9-8. I got a chance to talk with one of the guys that continues to swing a hot stick, Kyle Stowers, 8 for 25 in his last 7 games, 4 doubles and 3 home runs, but yesterday belted a home run in a double in yesterday's win. Okay, Kyle, I guess never a doubt.
Yeah, hey. Obviously not the way we exactly wanted it to end, but hey, got the job done, and that's what it's all about.
What right now is so contagious about your offense?
Yeah, I think just like scoring in any inning, any and every inning, you know what I mean? Like, we're pouring it on early and then, keeping going, and I think that's just a good offense, not just getting complacent with scoring early and then leaving the score there.
I talked to your manager this afternoon, and I said, the difference between a good player and a great player is you hit, the league adjusts, and then you adjust back to the league. How have you been able to break out here?
Yeah, I think just sticking with it, just trusting the process. We play 162 games, and so there's just ebbs and flows throughout the season. So, it's just trusting that things are going to turn, and I think that's just kind of what's happening.
5 in a row for your team. What's it like just being in the clubhouse right now with the guys?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of belief in this clubhouse. And obviously when you're winning, everyone's having more fun. There's a level of closeness that just, continues to build, and it's been a lot of fun.
All right, so that was Kyle Stowers again, who is 8 for 25, hitting .320 his last 7 games, 4 doubles and 3 home runs. Across the lineup, it's tough to get the Marlins out right now. Otto Lopez, he's been red hot. Augustine Ramirez continues to hit as well. Connor Norby, which has been a big part this week, I think, to the Marlins' offensive success in lengthening the lineup. Connor Norby has had multiple hits in 3 of the 4 games on this road trip, and here he is back in the lineup. He's in that 8 spot, but I like him there as he continues to be problematic in that spot. I mean, let's be honest. When Connor Norby's your 8 hitter and the way he's going, that is an issue that poses a lot of opponents. The other thing I want to mention about this offense, the Marlins recorded their 5th straight game with double-digit hits, and they now extended their National League lead in hits this month with 228 in 24 games. We know they were able to get on base, but yesterday, how about 8 extra base hits? It started in that 4th inning. You had a double, a double, a double. 3 doubles in a row. Augustine Ramirez, Kyle Stowers, Otto Lopez. So it's just been so much fun to watch this offensive identity really form here in the last couple of weeks. The Marlins are looking to win 6 straight, and they have been red hot on the road as well. They've won 6 straight back on 7 straight, rather, if you date back to June 13th. They did sweep the Washington Nationals in D.C. in 3 games. Of course, swept the San Francisco Giants and took game 1 here today. And you got to feel pretty good with Sandy Alcantara, who's thrown to a 2.7 ERA in his last 4 starts. They will send Sandy to the hill here this afternoon. We'll break here and we'll step aside. We will hear Sandy Alcantara and Jack McMullen. That is next as we get you ready for a 4:10 first pitch. Middle game, Marlins looking to make it 6 in a row on the Marlins Radio Network.
Stowers hits that one high in the air, out to center and deep. Lee looking up, and it's gone. Over the Marlins bullpen in right center. The Giants felt like they had to get right, and Kyle Stowers said that decision was flat out wrong. A 2-out hit by pitch, then a screamer of a double, and Stowers with a 440-foot homer busts this game open in the first. 3-0 Fish right away. On hearing. 0-2. Augustine rips the ball out to left and deep. That thing is halfway up the bleachers and gone. Ramirez is feeling it today. 113 on the double his first time, and he launches a homer. 443 feet, and they're tagging Birdsong. 5-0 Fish in the top of the 3rd.
Cargo ship coming.
A couple of big cargo ships coming from the bay. 2-0 pitch. Wagaman drills that one into left center field. That's going to split and roll all the way to the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Sanchez from second, Otto from first, and Wags coming through again. Marlins have a lead, 7-5 in the 5th on the 2-run double from Eric Wagaman from Bivens.
Norby loops one into left field. That gets in for a base hit. Ramos has to range to his forehand. His weight is behind the ball, and Wagaman scores from second base. Connor Norby comes through. He has an RBI knock, and crooked numbers galore. A 3-spot for the Fish in the fifth. On the RBI single, it's 8-5 Marlins. Righties 1-1. That one hit well. Out to right field. That's turning on Yastrzemski, and that will one-hop off the wall. It's over his head. Norby and Myers score, and Xavier Edwards has...
Live from Chase Field here on the Marlins Radio Network. This is Marlins on Deck. Steven Strom here. Jack McMullen and AJ Ramos have your call at 4:10. Sandy Alcantara will go opposite Brandon Pfaadt. Marlins swept San Francisco and San Fran. They took game one last night in Arizona. They've won 5 in a row dating back to Sunday, where they took the series finale against the Atlanta Braves. Well, Sandy Alcantara has officially turned this thing around. He's thrown to a 2.74 ERA in his last 4 starts. The big key for Sandy, the walks. Entering June this month, Sandy Alcantara's walk rate was at 12%. It's now at 5.4%. Jack McMullen got a chance to catch up with Sandy Alcantara. And by the way, folks, I have no idea what happened with our microphone, but Jack and Sandy are about 12 pitches lower. So stand by and be prepared for a very low interview with Sandy and Jack.
Thank you very much, Steven. Sandy Alcantara. The boys are playing some good baseball right now. They've won 4 in a row, coming off a sweep in San Francisco. What have you seen from the dugout from these guys?
Oh, I see everything, so the way that all the players been working out there on the field is amazing. So, and you guys see what we did in San Francisco, after bench clear, we got a sweep, and that was awesome. Yeah.
High-energy series like that, high-energy series finale, what does that do for a team as a whole going into a new series in Arizona?
Oh, it's good, so came from three wins in a row, so it feels great. So hopefully we got to do the same in here, so they're being aggressive, Team like Diamondbacks, they always like to swing the first pitch, they always try to hit homer, but we're ready. We're ready to go today. Let's see what happens.
Another quality start for you last time out against an Atlanta team that had to feel good. How well did you sleep after that one?
It's been sleep way better, after my 4th start, it's been have some better breathe, better sleep, and I feel great, and thanks God for those opportunities. Yeah.
No Corbin Carroll in this lineup for the Diamondbacks, but still a lot of talented bats. What do you see when you look at this Arizona lineup?
Same, so when you lose a player, you're trying to continue doing what you think, doing your things, so they lose fast runner, but they still have a couple more players that can run, they can hit, they can play the game well too.
Ball flies a little bit here. I know roof is closed, but it seems like the air is a little thin right now. Does that change your arsenal at all?
Nothing, just got to be aggressive tomorrow, since the first pitch, try to not miss too much out of the sun, and try to locate my pitch down the sun.
All right, so that was a very low Sandy Alcantara and a very low Jack McMullen. Thanks for hanging with us again on that. We just wanted to give you the content and give you the 4-1-1 on how Sandy's doing. Again, he's been awesome the last 4 starts, 23 innings, 2.74 ERA, 19 Ks to 3 walks. One of the things I do want to mention here, first is the first inning. I think the opening frame for both pitchers are big. Brandon Pfaadt has struggled in the opening frame. And Sandy, I won't say struggled because it's only been 2 times in the last 2 starts. Trey Turner led off with a home run, and then you saw Austin Riley plate Ronald Acuna Jr. in that first inning as well, with that starts against the Phillies and the Braves. Sandy's going to face 3 straight lefties in this lineup, Perdomo, Marte, and Pavin Smith. That is something in an area that Sandy has really concentrated and worked on. He really struggled against left-handers. So I think something to look at in this Game 2 is how both pitchers fare in the opening frame of this game. We will break. Pulpuri coming up next with Jack McMullen. Marlins looking to make it 6 in a row. Again, Sandy Alcantara will go opposite Brandon Pfaadt at 4:10. We will step aside. We'll be back in 2 minutes on the Marlins Radio Network.
1-1. Otto rips that one into left center field. That's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. Both runs going to score. Augustine from third, Stowers from second. Otto cruising to third base, head first dive. He is out on the throw. 0-1. That one flicked into center, past the dive of the shortstop and Thomas into center for a base hit. 1 run scores, 2 runs score, and Heriberto Hernandez does his job. He guided the barrel to that, and it's a 2-run single to make it 4-2 Fish in the top of the 8th. 0-2. That one flicked over the jumping glove of the second baseman Koss into center for a base hit. The Marlins get their run across. It's an RBI single for Otto Lopez. He didn't try and do too much. Just like last night, he guides a single into shallow center, and it's 5-4 Miami in the top of the 10th. It's got Lopez at first, Winkler at second. And Hernandez tomahawks one into left center field. That gets in for a base hit, and that's going to roll into the alleyway. Winkler in to score from second. Here comes Lopez from first. Throw going home, on target but late. A head-first dive got Otto Lopez in. Hernandez pushes to third on the throw, and Heriberto Hernandez comes through again. A 2-run knock and a 4 RBI day. It's a 2-run double and a 3-spot in the 10th. 1 pitch. That one lifted out to shallow center field. Shortstop Lopez working backpedaling into shallow left center, and he makes the catch to end the ball game. It was a big 10th, and Tyler Phillips shuts it down in the bottom half of the inning. Heriberto Hernandez, the hero tonight. 4 RBIs, including a 2-run double in the 10th, and the Marlins win back-to-back.
Why? Hey, this is Nick Fortes, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Well, thank you, Nick Fortes. He is not going to catch Sandy Alcantara tonight. Liam Hicks is in the lineup and will be Sandy Alcantara's battery mate here at 4:10. Steven Strom, Marlins on Deck. Ahmed back in the studio in Miami. Jack McMullen and A.J. Ramos with me as well. I did screw up. Jack McMullen is not going to join me this segment. He's going to join me in the following segment. We got to get you ahead of the count first. We'll start with Sandy, 29-year-old right-hander, who looks to continue this impressive stretch of starts. 4-8, a 6.69 ERA, 15 starts this season, 74 combined frames. But his last 4, we mentioned it, 23 innings, 2.74 ERA, 19 Ks to 3 walks. He earned the win on Sunday against Atlanta, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits over 6 frames, 4 Ks. 3 of his last 4 starts have been quality. Career-wise against Arizona, he's made 5 starts, 0-2, a 3.23 ERA, 30 2/3 innings pitched career-wise against the Diamondbacks. We also talked about Sandy's walk rate entering June, 12.2%, now at 5.4. Now, why is that prevalent today? Because Arizona is 4th in the league in team walk percentage. That can play a factor here this afternoon. Sandy will go opposite Brandon Pfaadt, 26-year-old right-hander in Season 3 with the Diamondbacks. He'll make his 17th start of the season. He's 8-5 with, listen to this, a 5.49 ERA, 80 1/3 innings pitched, 16 starts. I say listen to this because we talk about wins and losses. Does it matter as a pitcher? Well, Brandon Pfaadt is a good example of why it shouldn't matter. He's got a 5 ERA and 8 wins. And the big reason, Arizona's helped him out a ton offensively. They've scored 6+ runs in 8 of his 16 starts this season. And again, for Pfaadt, he has struggled in May, an 8 ERA, and in June, a 7 ERA. He was much better to begin the year after starting 5-1 with a 2.78 ERA, but again, has struggled in the later months up to this one here this afternoon. Couple other notes on Brandon Pfaadt. The guy gives up a lot of home runs, 4.5% on that percentage. MLB average is 3.1, and his hard hit percentage is at 50%. MLB average is at 39%. So the Marlins have a good opportunity to keep hot and stay hot with this offense that has been lethal the last couple of weeks. We will see how both pitchers fare here this afternoon. Now we will break. We'll get Jack McMullen on. We'll step aside and pause for 2 minutes. We're back with more on the Marlins Radio Network.
Stowers hits that one high in the air, out to center and deep. Lee looking up, and it's gone. Over the Marlins bullpen in right center. The Giants felt like they had to get right, and Kyle Stowers said that decision was flat out wrong. A 2-out hit by pitch, then a screamer of a double, and Stowers with a 440-foot homer busts this game open in the first. 3-0 Fish right away. Don Hearing. 0-2. Augustine rips a ball out to left and deep. That thing is halfway up the bleachers and gone. Ramirez is feeling it today. 113 on the double, his first time, and he launches a homer. 443 feet, and they're tagging Birdsong. 5-0 Fish in the top of the third.
Ship coming.
A couple of big cargo ships coming from the bay. 2-0 pitch. Wagaman drills that one into left center field. That's going to split and roll all the way to the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Sanchez from second, Otto from first, and Wags coming through again. Marlins have a lead, 7-5 in the fifth on the 2-run double from Eric Wagaman from Bivens. Norby loops one into left field. That gets in for a base hit. Ramos has to range to his forehand. His weight is behind the ball, and Wagaman scores from second base. Connor Norby comes through. He has an RBI knock, and crooked numbers galore. A 3-spot for the Fish in the fifth on the RBI single. It's 8-5 Marlins. Righties 1-1. That one hit well. Out to right field. That's turning on Yastrzemski.
AT&T Internet 300 más una línea Unlimited Started SL. Requiere Xfinity Internet. Velocidades reales varían. Velocidades se reducen después del uso de 30 gigabits por línea. Los límites de datos y los ahorros reales varían.
Let's make it 6, shall we? Marlins beat Atlanta on Sunday. They swept the Giants this week. And then they took game 1 last night, held on for dear life, 9-8. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, AJ Ramos. Jack joins me now as we get you ready for a 4:10 first pitch right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Okay, Jack, it's a Saturday. I want to start with an apology. I'm going to be a man here. I always preach on authenticity. I got accountability tattooed on my forehead. I wasn't familiar with your game, Heriberto Hernandez. Great job on that pronunciation, by the way. 18 for 54. He's hitting .333 with 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, and 887 OPS. I just want to start there, Jack, and I want you to be a witness. I'm sorry, Heriberto Hernandez.
Cool. Heriberto Hernandez, I will say, it was a little delayed on the video. I saw you reaching for something. And
No.
Yeah,
go
good.
talk.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
I wanted to put that out there in the universe.
I totally understand. Okay, so Heriberto Hernandez has been swinging a heck of a bat right now. And I'm trying to decide what I want to roll with moving forward for him. Our Marlins social media team, Jacob Meschel, doing a great job right now on that front. He's calling him Hemiberto.
Ooh.
I'm thinking like Big Bert, like Big Bert, like Big Bird, but like Big Bert. So if you're listening to this and you are active on X, tweet at me and let me know. Do you prefer Hemiberto or Big Bird? So I'm trying to really decipher what I want to go with Heriberto Hernandez.
We'll take ideas. We'll take whatever it may be. I'm going to put this comment on here. Thank you both for your amazing work. You know what? You're welcome.
Thank you, our national
pastime. We appreciate that. Okay, so I did pose this question because, of course, we're media. We have to find some sort of negative angle when Sandy Alcantara is red hot right now in the last 4 starts.
Is that you, Colin?
The first inning, I took note of this. Trey Turner took him deep in his 2 starts ago against Philly. And then Marcelo Zuna, or it was Austin Riley, plated Ronald Acuna Jr. Is this an instance where you want to see Sandy be less aggressive early on, or are you okay with him establishing sort of his vibe in a game?
I think this is such a thin line that you have to toe. And my thing is okay, I understand the idea of not wanting to be over the heart of the plate at the outset of the game because that can be the first punch thrown. And, we've seen Philadelphia and Atlanta throw that first punch against Sandy Alcantara. But what I will say is at the beginning of the year, when he wasn't over the heart of the plate, the walks really came in. This guy through the month of May had a 12% walk rate. And it was actually worse going into his last couple of starts in May. You start to toe that line of, okay, be careful versus, okay, don't throw strikes. And if he's not throwing strikes, runners are on base, and Sandy has struggled on the year with runners on base. Opponents are OPSing near 900 against him when runners are on base. So I would say stick to what you're doing. Solo homers don't kill you.
Sure.
And if somebody were to clip him for a solo homer in the first inning today, that's fine. It's 1 run. This offense has been scoring 8 runs a game over this 5-game winning streak and over the last 7 road games. So I trust what this offense is doing right now. I'm okay if Sandy gets punched in the teeth in the first inning. I don't want him to get away from the thing that has made him confident over the last 4 or 5 starts.
That's Jack McMullen. I'm Steven Strom. This is Marlins on Deck. 4:10 first pitch. Marlins looking to make it 6 in a row. So for Brandon Fout, looking at his numbers, I mentioned his home run percentage, 4.5%, league average 3.1, hard hit percentage is at 50, league average at 39%. How do you make sense of it? Why is he being hit so hard?
Yeah, I mean, Fott's always been hit pretty hard in the big leagues. He was very, very good in minor league baseball. He made his way through, and this guy was kind of a pop-up prospect. He went to Bellarmine in Louisville, Kentucky, and he was a later-round pick in 2020. But this guy showed this advanced pitch ability making his way through the minor leagues. When he got to the big leagues, it was bombs away in his major league debut. I mean, I think it was Baltimore. They absolutely drilled Brandon Pfaadt. Might have been Texas. But Pfaadt, this guy, he burst onto the scene in the 2023 postseason. Since then, it feels like guys are hitting him hard. What he's going to do, he's going to strike out some guys. He's not going to walk many, so people like it, and that's why Arizona extended him. But at the end of the day, he leaves a lot of pitches over the heart of the plate, notably the fastball and the sweeper. And those are two home run pitches. In this ballpark, you can't leave fastballs over the heart of the plate, and you can't leave cement mixing sweepers over the heart of the plate. And that is what Pfaadt has done, and that's why he's throwing to a 7.66 ERA over his last 10 starts.
And he's another guy that has struggled in the opening frame. This is a cool storyline to start because we're going to realize really quickly how it affects this entire game. Okay, can you believe it, man? I know we always talk about game 70, game 60. It's game 81 today. We are halfway through the year. I did want to play a little bit of a game with you. We're probably aligned on a lot of these. Cy Young for the first half and team MVP. For me, it's been Kyle Stowers. And for the arm, you got to go, for me, again, with Edward Cabrera.
Yeah, so Cabby, for me, I will say honorable mention Ronnie Enriquez, just based on what this guy has done out of the bullpen. And I think Bender deserves some love on that front as well. So I think those guys are kind of doing the Eric Gagne, Zach Britton effect, where they could be considered a Team Cy Young Award winner.
Sure.
Because they've been there the whole year. Cabby was not. But the way Cabby has come along, man, this guy has been insane to watch. So Cabrera's my Cy Young pick, and then I think slam dunk Stowers is the team MVP right now. Rookie of the year is actually tough. You got a whole bunch of guys in this Rookie of the Year fold.
I'm going with Wags.
Yeah, I understand. Hicks, Wags, Augustine. I'll go with Augustine for the sake of the exercise here. This guy is special when he makes contact, and Stowers has been special when he makes contact as well. So I'm really loving what we're seeing. And, oh, by the way, let me just shout out the unsung hero so far, Otto Lopez. Otto is ripping an 8-game hitting streak off right now. He's got RBIs in his last 5 games. He's 15 for 32 on this 8-game hitting streak. He's as hot as anybody in baseball right now.
Well, we just lost you on StreamYard, so I guess that's a sign. We're going to break here. We will get to our X-Bowl question of today at Marlins Radio, Steve's Guarantee. Then you will hear Jack and AJ Ramos at 4:10. We're back in 2 minutes. Marlins on Deck continues right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
Stowers hits that one high in the air, out to center and deep. Lee looking up, and it's gone. Over the Marlins bullpen in right center. The Giants felt like they had to get right, and Kyle Stowers said that decision was flat out wrong. A 2-out hit by pitch, then a screamer of a double, and Stowers with a 440-foot homer busts this game open in the first. 3-0 Fish right away. On hearing. 0-2. Augustine rips the ball out to left and deep. That thing is halfway up the bleachers and gone. Ramirez is feeling it today. 113 on the double his first time, and he launches a homer. 443 feet, and they're tagging Birdsong. 5-0 Fish in the top of the third.
Ship coming.
A couple of big cargo ships coming from the bay. 2-0 pitch. Wagaman drills that one into left center field. That's going to split and roll all the way to the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Sanchez from second, Otto from first, and Wags coming through again. Marlins have a lead, 7-5 in the 5th on the 2-run double from Eric Wagaman from Bivens. Norby loops one into left field. That gets in for a base hit. Ramos has to range to his forehand. His weight is behind the ball, and Wagaman scores from second base. Connor Norby comes through. He has an RBI knock, and crooked numbers galore. A 3-spot for the Fish in the 5th on the RBI single. It's 8-5 Marlins. Righties 1-1. That one hit well out to right field. That's turning on Yastrzemski, and that will one-hop off the wall. It's over his head. Norby and Myers score, and Xavier Edwards has a 2-run double. The Fish are scoring in bunches. X has been as hot.
On your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINCA in Miami. WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good.
National anthem in progress here for our StreamYard audience. That's why I'm standing. I'm respecting the flag here. Game 2, Marlins looking to make it 6 in a row here as the final game of the first half concludes. Game 81 of 162. I'm Steven Strom, host of the program here, Marlins on Deck. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Saturday afternoon. AJ Ramos with us as well. Jack McMullen pioneering this broadcast. Let's get to our X-Poll question of today at Marlins Radio. Well, the first year of existence with this Arizona Diamondbacks team was back in 1998. Yeah, I was born. Jack was born. Yeah, it's kind of a long time ago. This stadium is now called Chase Field. What was the original name of this ballpark? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. Ahmed, it's time for Steve's Guarantees.
Batter up.
Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
Okay, you heard me. That means plural. We're going to go with Kyle Stowers or Jesus Sanchez to hit a home run today. Here's why. Brandon Pfaadt has really struggled to keep the ball in the yard. 4.5 percentage on that home run rate. League average 3.1. Against lefties this season, Brandon Pfaadt's opposition is hitting .287 with an .861 OPS. 9 home runs on that left side. Sanchez's 7 home runs. 6 of them have come against right-handers. Stowers is swinging a hot stick, so it's easy to take him, but I like one of the 2 lefties to go deep tonight. The other thing that I had mentioned was Sandy in the first inning. I like him to score scoreless first. It's going to be a challenge. I want to see him be sharp and mix against the top half of this order. He'll see 3 straight lefties. And, Jack, we did actually get a fan question here. Go Marlins. Can I get Jack to autograph my 2 Just Baseball hats?
Of course.
Is that cool?
Of course. That's awesome. Send them to the ballpark, and I'll send them back.
DM us, Jordan, okay? And we'll take care of you. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. AJ Ramos, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups and first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together 6 times in a row. This is the Marlins Radio Network.